PlayStation 5 selling, well, all the PlayStation 5s ever, despite it being so ridiculously expensive, still over halfway through its generation. And it seems like Nintendo aren't the only ones that can sell boatloads of hardware, as Sony have updated their PS5 sales figures in their latest kind of financial reports on the company. It's a really boring document. I recommend that you do not read it. I did for you, and I've summed up the two big parts here, and that is that PS5 has sold loads of units and they sold loads of software too. So hurrah for Sony overpricing things. So sales for the last quarter for the PS5 were up 16% on this time last year, bringing the total units sold for PS5 so far to 75 million, which has actually really surprised me. I didn't think it'd be anywhere near that figure already. That does kind of bring it up in line closer to what the PS4 was and is at this kind of point in its generation. It has to be said that those sales figures, of course, do also include the original PS5 and the PS5 Slim, the updated version, the PS5 Pro, the 30th anniversary editions as well. So all of the PS5 kind of platform combined. I think what's crazy about this is that despite the really shaky start and the massive shortages, I couldn't get one for over a year. All of that at the start of the PS5 generation, and also, let's be honest, the lack of PS5 exclusive games, I mean, games that are just designed for PS5 and not PS4 as well. Despite the lack of all of that and all of the shaky start, it has seemed to have massively picked up, and the PS5 is selling better than ever. And the other really surprising part of it is when you consider the price point. The PS4 at this point in the generation of its life cycle was only $299, whereas the PS5 now is sitting $200 more than that at $499. Of course, you have to account for, things are more expensive now than they used to be, but they're definitely not $200 more expensive on something that was only $300. They're not 2/3 more expensive in that kind of 7-year difference. So it's definitely more expensive than it used to be. I guess that worries me more than it should, but it feels like Sony have been on a march with PlayStation to make it the Apple of gaming, this walled garden of overpriced accessories and of not sharing things outside of its proprietary connection of their Bluetooth wireless earbud lossless audio nonsense that costs $200 and something. The Portal, which isn't a handheld console, but they're kind of selling it as one, and that's $200. That annoys me. The fact that everything is so expensive but still sells really well. I think as gamers we should be a little bit concerned by that, because these figures only serve to prove that they're doing the right thing for them, and that will only encourage them to make it more like this going forward. And that can only be a bad thing if Sony really do turn PlayStation into the Apple of gaming. They'll sit that out there on their own, doing very expensive things, and people really love it, so they will be charged more than they should be for it. Anyway, I'm getting on my soapbox about it. It's pointless. The headline is the PS5 has sold 75 million units. The amount of games they sold last year as well, they sold 95.9 million units of software last year. That is pretty incredible. You've reached the end of this clip, and that means there's only one thing left for you to do, and that's go and watch the full 128KB news video over on 128KB. It's going to be clicked right up there for you to click on. That's right, linked, not clicked. Click on it there. You can laugh at my face some more, and we can all be friends afterwards. I'll see you there.